place now, but what, it was something else.
Done right.
Huh?
Done right?
Yeah, done right.
Yeah.
You part of that?
I was.
Okay, that's where I made it.
Yep.
Done right.
I
Figured it out. Should have
Oh.
been there.
There you go. Maybe a investigator.
Blackberries.
Blackberries.
Blackberries, yes, blackberries, sorry. Did I say raspberry? I have a raspberry. In my head, I guess.
How's Mr. Allen doing?
Tired. How are you?
Don't try something different.
Are you
I
really?
don't either normally venture out. And it sounded good, so I thought, well, I'm gonna try it.
We can hear you, James. You wanna look at this?
I'll pass.
I
Pardon me.
Anybody have a chance to review the claim document online? Amy sent it.
They just didn't turn it over and see, so it's.
Brandy,
Yes,
did you get a chance to review the claim document online?
I did.
Okay. Anybody want to see the actual paperwork? I know it went out, I reviewed online,
I did some of that.
that's why I asked.
It's done a long time ago, we just didn't turn it over.
Yeah, it's approved and everything that went in.
They sign on the.
No, Bill, he's already signed, Adam signed, Steve.
Steve, sorry, Steve. You ready down there, John?
You want this back?
Anytime you are. Okay. Okay. I'll let you go right ahead. You do invitation.
I can.
Make sure we get mine.
Thank you, sir.
Sorry, trying to get that. P&Z.
All right, take care.
Are you ready?
Yeah, we get it. Hang on. He's getting set up.
My claim document.
You good? Okay. Let's call the order of the March 11, 2025, Down Delville meeting to order. Y'all please stand with the invocation and the pledge.
Father, we just thank you for Delville, Lord, and all you things you do through us and through the community here. And we ask for special prayers for the spring break coming up. Keep everybody safe and all the travels and make smart decisions. We ask you to guide this board tonight, Lord, and be with this community, Lord, as spring's coming on. There's going to be a lot more activity, and just keep everybody safe. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amy, would you call the roll, please?
Tom Roberts,
Here.
Adam Jones.
Here.
Randy Curley. Here. Steve Rogan.
Here.
And Bill Walters.
Here. Everybody had a chance to look at the minutes. We have two sets. We have the executive from February 11th, as well as the regular town board meeting of February 11th. If so, I entertain a motion.
Make a motion that we approve the February 11th meeting minutes as written.
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Okay, there's the minutes. You want to do the executive session now?
Also make a motion that we approve the minutes from the executive session on February 11th, also as written.
I'll second that one.
Got a first and a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Approved. Second one, everybody has to sign, so if you feel sign that one, and we'll bring it back this way. looking at the claim docket, or you're looking at that.
Can I go ahead and sign the claim doc? Start that around.
If you're good there, that's your signature on that one, Brent. Tom, you want to touch base on the Delaware County Regional Wastewater District? Report, that was up next.
We did get a report.
Running.
And it's pretty much routine things, the Delaware, lift station work and 811 locates, letters on doors for customer disconnection. And then I did ask him to send us an email, just to identify just to remind us where all the lift stations were. So he did that right away. So if anybody has a curiosity, you can take a look at that. We have 5 of them, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I'm surprised we had so many.
No, well, I know there's one right outside my house. But that's it.
That's it, okay. Tom's finishing up on the claim docket. Randy, you said you seen it?
Yes, I did.
Okay, I tell you what, while he's finishing up there, that's
Good.
You're good, all right, then I'd entertain a motion,
I'll make a motion to
approve the claim docket.
approve the claim docket of $251,000. Oh, you got it there?
I already got it.
Okay.
I learned.
$11.52.
I just get it before.
I'll
I do.
second.
I have a first and second, any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried, and you get 2 signatures on that. Next, we have the revenue detail history.
We just pass that down.
Yep. And then I'll pass that way, and then also here's the financial report, the hourly, we'll look at those. We'll take it. Wait a minute, did I miss the annual report?
Oh,
Yeah, you had it on here and now it's not on it.
What?
Annual filing reporting statement?
No, it should be in there.
No, it wasn't. I got it here, but I didn't see it on the list. That's why I was going over the list. But I thought I seen it on there and
I thought I had
It's
AFR.
on new business.
She does, it's right here, AFR available.
oh, sorry, it's on the other, it was stuck with the reports. I was looking in the report section. There.
Yeah.
She's finishing it. Sanitation, go to department reports.
Sanitation, Amy did secure the date for the spring cleanup. It is April the 26th. There will be 3 dumpsters again. We'll have one additional one at the fire station because that went over really well. And that Saturday, they'll do the curbside
Large
pickup,
item.
the large item.
On Saturday.
Yeah.
So we're doing
And regular, but the
Park.
regular, yeah.
Old Town Hall and
And fire station.
and regular
Very
trash,
good.
regular trash Friday.
The other thing I did want to ask you, is it April 1st or May 1st that I probably need to get the porta pots for Shellabarger? Did we do that April or May?
April.
April.
Yeah.
Okay, I will call them
About that.
tomorrow.
Okay.
You're good. You'll be-
You gonna do Hudson Rental again?
Are you good with that or no? Do you
Oh,
want
yeah.
me to try somebody else?
That's fine.
Okay.
Then when it floods, Doug can come down there and get them.
This guy was.
Do you want it someplace else?
No, that's fine.
Okay,
He risky water funds.
yeah, that's it.
Water Steve's house, certainly.
Yeah.
Anything go on, Brad, with water?
Water and streets.
Just get ready, probably tomorrow or sometime the end of this week, I'm gonna make the tie-in to my new building
Okay, we have a meeting with Commonwealth this week, don't we?
tomorrow, 3:15.
That's what I thought. Regarding the PER progress and all that. So you're welcome to join probably. But, well, at least one of you. So
I talked to Thomas earlier, I thought they were gonna be here, because he said they needed documents signed to get the, application into SRF by March 30th.
Well, maybe he's gonna be here.
He said it on the phone, that's why I was kinda shocked when he wasn't here. If you didn't say that, I didn't know if he had changed or something had come up, because, he said he had documents that had to be signed so it could go into, be submitted.
Okay. Otherwise, anything else? Not a lot.
The potholes are starting to pop up now, and we'll get them fixed as soon as they pop up.
Yeah.
But we ought to be pretty good, really.
There was a stormwater issue Brad found over by the park. It's been fixed pretty much.
Yeah, been fixed.
So just we had a pipe collapse.
Hmm.
And so he fixed it already. Good job.
Okay, planning and zoning?
No, and,
Oh, sorry.
um,
I thought you did.
the community crossing,
Oh, yeah, we were accepted.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Albert.
And brought the route. Yeah, we met out there with them, we were out there, went through it with Brad, all the way down, I think they're ready to go, we got the plan laid out, the trees coming out, the signs coming out.
Yep, second week of, spring break, the trees and the signs are coming out down there. Nobody come down there and watch? No.
Okay,
You don't want spectators?
we good?
Yeah.
Okay, planning and zoning?
So first, Bud's just been doing a phenomenal job of not only keeping up with all the properties, but identifying properties that need to be taken care of, getting letters sent out. We just talked through 5 different properties that are past their 10-day mark on letters and what our next steps are going to be on those. So kudos to you, Bud, you're doing a tremendous job. The only other thing that was brought up was, we received a letter, plus, others have called in about wanting to know where we stand on chickens in town. We just identified that we need to, do a little bit more homework as a board on, what other towns are doing, what should be the right thing, reviewing our 2 ordinance that kind of address it and that are kind of conflicting. And we'll do that over the next month and then bring a recommendation to the board next month. Anything else that I'm missing?
I'm just curious, John, in 2, I believe, of the ones we extended, the board, the planning and zoning, made a motion and approved to move forward to have the rubbish cleaned and a lien put to the property. Okay. Does the full town board need to approve that, or is that okay through planning and zoning, that board voted to move forward?
Well, we'd be planning and zoning to move forward with that, that's okay.
Okay.
And we're good there?
in regards to the chicken thing,
Yes.
maybe a brief discussion on it would be worthy. That way, if the board,
Yeah, I think it's on here, so we could go ahead and get to that if we want to.
because my thought is if the board is not interested in doing anything with that, that I would save you guys on the planning and zoning
Yeah.
board some research time.
Agreed.
Okay, then let's have a discussion. Floor's open.
I can start. I mean, as I brought up in the planning and zoning, meeting, while I recognize the need and the want for it, I think there are a lot of negatives that can come, out of that. Smell being one of them, they attract rodents is another one. Some properties are bigger, some are smaller, and where they would put coops in the yard can become an issue on how close. Noise is another issue. And just us having to follow up that, or Bud having to follow up on the maintenance, could become a real issue. I too had chickens growing up on the farm that I lived on, and no matter how good you keep them pinned up, stray animals can get to them and kill them, and we have issues with stray animals as it is. And we don't have any way to get rid of stray dogs, stray cats and things like that at this time. So my recommendation would to be not to allow it at this point, just for those issues.
Ditto.
Third,
The only question I have is, do we have chickens already? And would we
That's
allow?
good. I was going there when you went 1, 2, 3. Well, that pretty much sets the tone there. So now what do we do about the chickens that are already here?
They would be grandfathered in.
Yeah,
Thank you.
but no
No.
additional ones or what, or just
Well,
allowed?
once those,
Well, I mean, up until you adopt something, they could have, they can get as many chickens as they want to,
can they replace them?
until you adopt something.
So my,
so we need to
Unders-
adopt something saying no chickens, except for the ones that are here and grandfathered in until they
Well,
see.
you have to adopt the amendment to your zoning ordinance.
There ain't no easy way.
Chickens are
I know.
not easy.
I don't wanna go back 15 years and 16 years and start this all over again. I really don't. I really don't wanna be.
I understand it. All flows downstream.
It does, especially if you're in the low-lying area like I was.
from my understanding, John, there are two ordinances that sort of address chickens. One states that you can only have 2 outside animals on your property, no more than 2. So that's one. The other one states something about you can't use any more than 50% of your land as part of agriculture. It doesn't necessarily call chickens out, but chickens would be considered agricultural.
At the time they were, yeah,
But
any,
those aren't-
like horses, anything would be.
Those aren't in conflict with each other. I mean, that's not how I would interpret that.
No.
You can have 2 and you can use up to this much space,
Right,
right?
right.
But that was probably written for dogs or cats or something like that, not.
My only thing is I don't know whoever has them in town if they have more than 2 at this point. So,
Well, you're saying they can have 2, but almost no more than 50% of your yard
Why don't,
can be dedicated
What if we-
to 2 chickens.
Communities around here that have an ordinance that could just steal.
well, we were sent in the
Yeah.
letter, we were sent Middletown's ordinance,
They've
but they
already
just adopted.
allowed
That
for it.
that was in the letter that Amber put.
but they allow us, yeah.
They allowed it.
Yeah,
Just speaking of what was happening.
it seems like it's a temporary issue. And then what happens when egg prices go back down to $1 a dozen or whatever? And people don't want chickens in
Well, they could-
Yeah,
Yeah, like just opening the door or whatever.
Plan that.
You know?
You know,
I think there could be a number of people that would be very interested in doing it and would do it if they knew it was allowed. And I'm not saying we should allow it, I'm just saying there would be interest in, we already said Trina's already had, what, 10 or 12 responses.
Oh, there's quite a few people interested.
Why don't we,
But I don't think we want it in town.
why don't we start with and let John look at both of the 2 ordinances that are there and give us a memo, on what is there and what is currently allowed, and then we can go from there. So we have a good understanding of where we currently are and what would happen if we move forward. It's like he said, what's currently there, if we were to move forward and adopt something, or cancel it, what's there's grandfather. Is it grandfathered if we say we're not going any farther, there's no chickens, or we gotta amend the ordinance, grandfather the other ones in, or if you're gonna allow them, what are we gonna do up to whatever the number is, and what we do to the people that's already got chickens?
well, you do have section 90.03 says no animal shall be allowed on any lot other than a domesticated animal no larger than the largest of the registered dog breeds. And no more than 2 animals may be kept outside of any dwelling, whether pet house or otherwise. So this says no animal shall be allowed on any lot.
No animals on any lot.
Other than domesticated animal no larger than the largest of the registered dog breeds.
So it sounds like we have it handled that way.
Wait, so,
No, because a
you
chicken
can
is
have-
smaller.
chicken's
chickens
smaller
are
than a dog.
domesticated.
But they're.
No, but they're
animals.
not, but would you consider them?
They're not
They're not
domesticated.
domesticated animals.
Ah,
But I would.
You can ask people, I've seen people walking their
Farm
chickens with leashes.
Farm animals are domesticated animals.
Yeah, farm animals are just domesticated.
Yes, they are.
Yes, they are. They're
Have you not
wild
seen the
animals.
chickens walk?
No,
It's
not
just-
feral.
I've seen
They're not
it.
feral.
That's not, a chicken and a cow and a goat are animals that have been domesticated. They are no longer wild.
Right.
You got horses,
And
ponies
pigs.
and
Some
horses.
people have pigs. that-
Yeah.
Ponies and
Pigs
ponies
included,
and
we have-
horses
we have the-
also.
We have the no
Well,
hood.
Lions, tigers, bears, oh my.
Right.
Those are
So
wild.
like, that ordinance would indicate that you could have chickens, goats.
You could have two.
pigs, and you could have
You
two.
have no more than two, maybe kept outside of any building, outside any dwelling, whether in a penthouse or otherwise, so.
So what happens if you have a back porch and you keep your chickens on your back porch?
Well,
Just
other than the
saying.
smell, I guess you could do that.
Yeah. I mean, because people have
I
like
don't
those
even know what
pigs in their house.
Yes, they do. I'm sorry, those Vietnamese popular pigs.
Yeah, the pot-bellied pigs they keep in their house.
John, do you have any recommend, or would you be able to come up with a recommendation how we might deal with this?
Knowing
Knowing the board is not inclined to have.
Well, and what do we do with about the ones that are here?
Yes.
Because as soon as you
that's the
tell
other
us that we're not gonna move forward, that's gonna be the next question.
I would guess they, like you said, they probably grandfathered in.
But what are they grandfathered in at?
Right.
How many animals?
They're
Well,
outside,
two-
outside
two is the
the
limit.
current ordinance, they got
Two's
more
the
than
limit.
two.
Yeah,
I
two
was
is
gonna
down to
say,
two is a limit.
They gonna be laying a lot of eggs.
No person shall keep within the town any animal that by loud or frequent barking, howling, yelping, or other animal noises disturbs the peace and quiet or annoys any citizens. So that goes for roosters.
So basically, anybody can have chickens if they want them, but they can have up to two.
Yeah.
That's it. If
Mhm.
we keep with the current ordinance as written. What everybody, Jim?
And that ordinance was adopted in 2000,
Well, ducks.
let's see, 2011.
I would be inclined to leave that as it's probably not gonna get out of control. But what we should do is have an ordinance that states how animals that are outdoors should be kept.
Well, we have
Because that also fits.
treatment of, there's something that talks about the treatment of animals, because we've had to enforce that before. Somebody would call, the dog's being left outside, and it's freezing cold, or whatever.
What we don't have in that is that they have to be contained in a chicken run, a chicken coop,
That's where I was going.
Yeah.
Because if you're actually serious about it, you want chickens. I don't understand how you make a business case if you're to not, even though eggs are expensive. So like, I could see it as a hobby, right? Like you gotta get all the things that you need for a chicken. And you might spend $1,000 to have a proper chicken coop and run and things like that.
4-H project.
4-H project, yes. But because the price of eggs are high, it just doesn't make sense. And so that's what we need to address. Yeah, our ordinance allows for 2, which I'm good with.
Maybe it is for a 4-H project, though. Maybe it's for a kid in 4-H. That's why you get a kid, not for the price of eggs.
So that's kind of where I'm at.
That doesn't really.
So what I'm hearing is that everybody wants to stick with the current ordinance, just keep it at two, but we need to tidy up with what needs to be done as far as when they're outside.
Because that also fixes people just, having a dog chained up to a tree, in the middle of the winter. That type of thing, or whatever. Whatever.
Here's another section, 90.14. No person shall keep within the town any pigsty, kennel, stable, or other animal pen or shelter in such a manner as to create or cause any offensive or noxious smell or condition, or maintain or use any such animal pen or shelter constructed in such a manner as to permit the contents of filth therein to run or wash upon the premises owned or occupied by another, or upon the street, or any other public place.
So we've got that.
So that helps with the chicken coop.
Yeah. Keep it clean.
That was also adopted, part of your adoption in 2011.
No, why? I don't remember.
Stop it. Just stop it.
I'm thinking of the coconut oil.
No, we're not.
Chicken food combination, that must have been really good.
Okay, board, let's get serious. What are we staying, are we just gonna stay with what we
Stay
got
with what we have.
and leave, and let this be, and that we're not going to increase anything, it's two, I mean,
So we don't need to add
The
any
office,
provisions for
we don't
care
need to
because
add
it's
this
covered.
two, as long as they stay within the realm of the two current ordinances, they can have 2 chickens.
Well, there's more than that, and they have to be properly secured and have whatever, they have to have,
They cannot run at large.
Right,
That's
so you cannot run at large.
they have to have an environment that
And then
doesn't.
the other ordinance took care of the filth, the cleanup, and that, if they get outside of that realm.
Yes.
So they must have a run, a chicken run then?
Well, they gotta be
Run and
properly,
coop?
some things have to be properly maintained.
Okay.
And their chickens can't be, I mean, you can have a fence, but you're gonna have to have a high enough fence, your chickens aren't flying over the top of it. Getting
I've had enough chicken news, anything else?
I think I'm done with that.
Good, thank you.
Let's
Are you
put
good?
the bucket and move
I
on.
wanna move on, I've had enough of the chickens, okay?
All right.
Police department,
I gave all you guys before the meeting, update of the incident reports and stuff that we've had since, all 24. And we ended up with a total of 11,387 calls for last year. And you can go down the list and you can see all the calls that we were on. There was 5,260, traffic stops made last year. And we did, a little over 3,500 security checks on the business.
That was one that surprised me, that many security checks. That's a lot.
We check a lot of businesses and they're checking about every night.
when you say security check, is that because an alarm went off, or is that?
No,
It's part
there's
of the
some
ser-
of them, they'll drive down, they'll get out, they'll pull on the doors, they'll walk around the business, make sure it's okay. They make drive throughs like at Sam Pierce. They'll go out to factory shops and do checks.
So it's just more of a routine thing, right?
Yep.
James? Okay.
Anything else, Chief?
No, not,
Police?
well, we can combine some of the new business. Are you good with that?
Yeah, I'll just let everybody know too, we have the simulator upstairs, it's up and running. So after the meeting, if anybody wants to go up there and take a look at it, try it, you're more welcome.
Does it simulate?
It can simulate somebody drawing a gun on you and you can shoot, no shoot. They have targets that you can shoot. There's all kinds of different things that you can do on it. So,
Okay, so we've had one of the trucks that we knew was causing us issues, is now down and out. It's at Sam Pierce. Since it's gonna need a new transmission, and it is not worth the investment on it. I've had some conversations with their staff, the chief has as well. We have a good buyout offer on the truck that we could explore, but we do need to replace the vehicle. We have started the process as well. I'm looking for a replacement, and also a different upfitter
yes,
for the equipment, because if you may have noticed, the first Tesla is still not ready. And so we have got to have a different one. And this gentleman is significantly cheaper and quicker, guaranteed to be quicker than what we're dealing with now with the K9 vehicle. The request that I would like to make is that we communicate with the redevelopment commission and ask for some funding for the vehicle. What we talked about today, can't do two, the numbers just won't work. But we can do a vehicle for significantly less than what we did the original vehicle for. I'd like to make us to consider making a request of the redevelopment commission for $50,000 That will more than cover the vehicle and also cover a overwhelming majority of the upfitting to make it a police vehicle. And then we, as the board, would figure out how to fund the rest, which would be, what, $5,000 or less?
Between $5,000,
Yeah.
$8,000 for lights.
Probably just get 60,000. Just cover it.
We can ask. Trying not to mix conversations, we can ask.
Yeah.
I was trying to continue to do what we did on the first one, is that the town makes some type of commitment to it as well.
I think it just puts pressure on our budget.
Okay.
But who's the Tesla? Who's gonna use the Tesla?
That would be the first
The
reserve.
first one, the truck we're replacing is a reserve vehicle. So we would have the reserves drive that Tesla, which that will cut down our gas quite a bit, having them drive the Tesla, because they spend the most money, it seems like, in gas, besides Fred.
I just had a hard time thinking we're giving a Tesla to a reserve officer,
Well,
not to a full-time. But I understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
so
Yeah.
when you start looking at the full-time officers, first, the two SROs, it just doesn't make sense at all.
Right.
And we just spent money to re-decal those vehicles. I'm getting there. Corey lives in an apartment.
Yeah.
It's gonna be exceedingly expensive to do that.
Yeah, for a hookup.
Yes. Chief and the Major have new vehicles that are in good
yeah, last
operating order.
3 or 4 more years.
And right now, we don't have another full-time officer that is patrolling. So it would make sense to roll that currently to the reserve. You could, at some point in the future, maybe next year, if we had 2 electric reserve vehicles, they would be completely covered. 2 vehicles would cover all 3 shifts, all weekend. So we wouldn't have any fuel costs there at all. But that's down the line. Right now, that's the only one that makes
Yeah.
sense.
We're looking at saving dollars here. That would probably be the best area to put that is
Mhm.
for the reserve.
Makes sense.
And we have the plug-in out here, so it'll be plugged in when they're not using it. There might be, and we'll have an extra vehicle out here that they can use, that when that one has to charge, they can use the other vehicle during that shift. So it'll start saving us a lot more money,
Curtis's vehicle will also be available.
hopefully.
His existing truck, so that we can then, at some point in the near future, retire the other reserve truck that's on its last leg.
Mhm.
So were these leased, the trucks?
No, the trucks are paid for.
The trucks were paid for.
Yeah, and I believe like our other vehicles that we have, they should be paid for too now. You have the titles to them, to the Tahoe and the Suburban and all that. So all of our vehicles are paid for now.
We don't have
Supplied
any.
by the county.
So the-
The Tesla and the, or the Tahoe, the Suburban. and-
Now, it's,
Well, and wouldn't we be saving on maintenance fee of this said vehicle?
Yeah.
That we could apply that to bidding?
So the vehicle you told me about today is no longer available?
The pricing included some incentives that, but basically we were, in our minds, we were doubling the incentives because the incentives were already.
Remember I asked you, I said, I said, wait a minute, that number seems doubled on me.
It was.
they get you on that.
So on the mobile app, it wasn't as easy to see that the incentives were already included. On the desktop, it's extremely simple. It's just right there. You turn it off. Mobile app, it's hidden in an area. So once we straighten that out, what we talked about, we would end up being about 20,000 higher. And so it just, right now, out of caution, not knowing exactly where the redevelopment commission is going to be, because there's a lot of requests to consider for that. That's why I knocked it down to let's look at one vehicle as opposed to 2.
Okay, you went to deal, are we still talking the slightly used one or a brand new one?
Brandon, well, okay,
There was two different.
there's 2 different options that we're looking at. The demo vehicles versus a brand new one that's just sitting on the lot. So either one would be immediate possession, but does it make sense? Like, they have incentives on the brand new ones, and they also have incentives on the demo, but doesn't make sense because if they're only a couple $1,000s between the two. I've even looked outside of Tesla for ones with, 2,000 miles on them, 3,000 miles on them. Because one important thing that we found out today is the warranty on a Tesla does not change whether it is a new vehicle or it is a used vehicle. So you know how a lot of manufacturers, the original owner has X warranty. And
It doesn't carry over.
yes, the next owner, that warranty doesn't carry over, it's whatever the, base powertrain is, and that's it. On the Tesla, it's the 8-year, 120,000 mile warranty, doesn't matter who the owner is. So there is some incentive to find a used one with, 5,000 miles on it or whatever.
Right.
And those exist. It's just, is it worth it?
In the demo, what's nice about the demo is it's been driven around and stuff, so if there's any problems, hopefully those have been identified versus pulling right off the lot. I'm not saying that they wouldn't stand behind it, but then if there are problems and you're chasing them forever and ever.
Right.
Well, it's like right now, the trucks are hitting 6 years old now. They've got over 100,000 miles on them. And I mean, really, for 6 years, that's not bad. So they're really now starting to need to be replaced. And really, right now, we're just looking, probably the one we have at Sam Pierce and the other one we have sitting back here, that's probably gonna have to be replaced pretty soon too, because when you put about 130,000 miles on them, these guys continue to drive them.
Yeah.
So I mean, both of them eventually gonna have to be replaced.
Okay, so we're leaving that, you're gonna take it to the redevelopment commission?
As long as this board is okay with that request, right? I mean, that's what we need to do.
I make a motion, we proceed to redevelopment commission, make a request.
Okay.
Are we doing 50? Because you got 9 coming from the other one, right?
50 would cover it.
I have a first, I have a second.
Second.
Have first and second, any further discussion?
The only other thing, sorry,
Diane, what?
Do you want to include that if it's approved by the redevelopment, they can go ahead and purchase? How do you want what I'm saying, so they don't have to wait?
Amended is,
Yeah. Then.
amended.
so the only other thing I want to mention is our cost on the first one was expensive, more expensive. Obviously, some lessons learned on what vehicle to purchase, the outfitting for the K9, and the electrical work that we did here at the building, all of which is off the table on, going forward. We don't have those costs.
Right.
And then, so this one will be significantly cheaper.
Got a first and second, any other discussion?
Is that Tom and Adam?
Yep.
Tom and
Hold on,
Steve?
hold on,
Steve.
yes.
Now,
Okay.
Adam, do you wanna purchase it outright, or would you guys wanna look into like a 3-year lease and purchase two?
So one of the things I didn't have time to dive into is, one of their models, and it caught my eye just as I was closing out tab, they have 0% financing on it. And it might make sense to do that because it's, we could spread that out over a couple of years.
That's what I'm saying, if you buy two now, you can spread it out, and it's almost like buying one every year, and if you do two for 3 years, each year it'd probably be cheaper than actually going out and having to buy a car.
Yeah, I just don't know which model it was on, because there's only really one model that it'll work for the police vehicle. Everything else is just, like the Model 3 and the Model Y are basically the same vehicle, but the Y has the higher roof line and called an SUV, whereas the 3 is a car and it will not work for the majority of the officers. So I just need to see where that's at there. So maybe what we do is we don't put a number on the vehicle, the number of vehicles, we just request the dollar amount.
$50,000. Okay, so any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, one thing, while we're on this, I want to bring it up, and there's others here, I just found this out today, so I'll tell you something that's brand new. When this building was Bill, we did a bot on this and it was done through the Delaware County Redevelopment Commission. Well, these invoices for this bot have been showing up in my office, and John, I said that over, me and Danielle's been going through this. Today I learned that the auditor's office had no idea this bot existed. It was not on their record. So
They've been paying it.
I'm telling you what came down today with Tanya Dunsmore and with Danielle going back through it is not on their record at all. So I guess what I'm saying is, I know we got $1.4 million. Do not think right now, as of right now, do not think that that is all ours. We may have to be making a bot payment, and I think what I was asked for through 22 is it's about $84,000 a half. There's two payments in each one, so we're looking at about $160,000 because the balance between what they show and what we show is about $160,000 off.
Mhm.
It's being confirmed now. I do not know until the auditor and Danielle get through to find out what the actual number is as of right now.
At least we have it sitting in our bank account.
I'm just saying, I'm going to make it known. That just happened today, so all I know is that difference shows up between what the bank says we owe and what we have on file. So they're trying to figure that out now.
I sat on the redevelopment commission.
I know.
I've seen the invoices. They have been paying this.
They might have been paying it out on.
Office knew about it. They knew about it because they've been paying the bills.
That's what I'm saying. They knew about it, but that office up there is here and there. So
That's why I'm saying what I'm saying, because I tried to write it and track it and make sure everything was done, and they cannot give me a number. Tanya's digging into it more, and Baker Tilly's digging into it to make sure that everything has been taken care of.
I keep sending in for the town and court fund. And I finally had to send one back and ask him, hey, did you get my email? Can you respond back to me? And finally they said, yeah, we got it, but I've been sending it like for the last 2 years. And I don't know if you've received a check from them or not, but I'm always told, oh, yeah, check's in the mail.
I don't know, I can check last time we
Yeah,
got a
so-
check. but-
so I don't-
Or 1.4 minus 160 grand?
Yep.
Okay.
That is what it looks like as of right now.
It wasn't ours to begin with.
Well, yes, I would say that, as of right now, from what I've seen so far, until they give me more information.
The ordinance, John, correct me if I'm wrong, but the ordinance was supposed to state that was done is that Delaware County would pay those bonds and then what was left would be sent to the town of Delta. Is that correct?
Yes.
I think that's what it was.
No, that is correct.
So
I've
you
read,
need- yeah, so you
they're
need
supposed to
make sure
keep all
the
obligations.
bonds and everything have been taken care of, and they haven't forgot anything, and before that 1.4, like, that's what I would check to make sure, because you guys have your payment to Delaware County Regional Wastewater, that you'll wanna make sure that's paid. You have your bond on your park, you wanna make sure that's paid, and I think this is the only other one, so you wanna make sure that all of those are paid, because it's supposed to be, the county will pay those bonds, and then whatever's left out of that TIF district then will be sent to the town of Delville. And I'd hate to get put in some kind of big fine.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's the way that it was wrote up. And one, we didn't enter those obligations. The DCRC entered
Yeah.
those obligations. They have to fulfill that, and then they release the rest of it to us. That is the way I believe it was written up. Is that correct, John?
I'm looking right now.
I'm pretty sure that's the way it was written up. All obligations had to be fulfilled out of the two draws.
Yeah, before, yeah.
Remainder
Sitting out
does.
here.
Right. Any of those obligations of the Delville TIF have to be honored.
Have to be honored. They would withdraw that, and then at the end of the year, send us anything that was left after those
That's what you
obligations were met.
That's why we get
Well,
the payment at the end of the year.
Like I said, I didn't mean to pay it. It's just, it came up and I got hit with it straight in the face today.
I don't know when I'm
So
supposed to get.
we're on. Ready to move on? Parks.
Um, let's see. Park department met, I was not able to be there, but we did not do anything with our 5-year plan. They discussed the upcoming events and things, but one of the big things they discussed is the park board has approved going for a request for $50,000 from the TIF district, from our Daleville redevelopment commission to be used for concerts and fireworks. And the remaining, which would, concerts and fireworks would be 22,000. Remaining 23 would be used for other park expenses such as supplementing event funding, taking care of park maintenance and repairs, and purchasing or upgrading existing equipment. That's designated by the Park and Rec Board. That's the way we like to use the money. So we're going to present that on Wednesday. And that's about it.
Any questions? You,
I do.
go.
So do we want, because I think it's a good idea to have this presented here and get our blessing before it goes to the redevelopment commission on things like this. Just not to say we approve it, but we think it's a good thing to do, to take to the redevelopment commission. I mean, would you rather just have someone come to the meeting and say, and bypass us until the next month or something? I just try to figure out the best way to do this.
I don't have a, feeling one way or the
As
other.
far as the park goes on the respect, we happened to meet on Monday. This was on Tuesday. This is what they discussed, so it was just part of our discussion, so. I mean, I was just saying that's what we plan on doing, but.
Something I was thinking along your line, Tom, is we have fiduciary responsibilities for fundings that are happening within the town. I would think that would at least
I
fall
was
under
gonna
our
ask John
purvey.
that. I was gonna ask John that, because doesn't the redevelopment commission have their own authority, John, or does it need to come through here as an approval after the redevelopment commission?
The redevelopment commission does have its own authority and approval. They can do they have lots of powers to, gather money, spend money, buy property. They can buy property in their own name. They can sue, they can be sued in their own name. They have lots of powers. So they're kind of an independent board for redevelopment purposes, as long as it meets the purpose.
Don't you think though it's a good idea to have a blessing of the town board?
That's outside the legal aspect. That's up to you guys to decide.
So they don't have to, redevelopment commission doesn't have to come back and get
No.
the board's approval
No.
to spend the money.
So here's what I think, personally, is I think it would be in poor form for any town board, sub-board of parks, planning, zoning, whatever, to go directly to the redevelopment commission. You should get the town board's blessing before you ask another entity for money. Now, if an outside of the town, within our organization, wants to come to the redevelopment commission and ask them for money, we are not a filter for that.
Mhm.
So take, for instance, if the fire department wants to come to the redevelopment commission and make a request, we have no say in that. Yes. So, but I don't,
Agreed.
so
In
I
that
think
case,
that's
the
where
fire
it's at.
territory would
Right.
like to have an input on that. But like the school, as an example. too,
Yes,
same
yeah,
kind.
the school
They would go
needs-
straight to the.
Yes. Yep. That's my thought. Because we don't want to make ourselves irrelevant, but we also don't want to hand over complete financial power to the development commission either, right? So we try to respect the boundaries of each entity.
So if I understand you correctly, any sub-board then would, if they want to make a request to the redevelopment commission, they would come to this board and say, this is what our request is, and then we would provide approval for that or discussion and
Yep.
okay, we'd like for you to change this or that or whatever.
Basically what we did, what the park department did, and what the police department, they're.
Yeah, but I could easily see, and this is not self-serving, because this could be 10 years down the line. If the redevelopment commission wants to approach the town or wants to approach an outside entity like the school or the fire department and say, hey, we would like to help you in this cause because we feel it's good, for the town as a whole, that's,
They're approaching us is different,
yes.
because like John said, they have their own authority.
Do you agree, disagree? What are your thoughts on that?
I got mixed feelings. Because as John just said, the redevelopment commission is a body of its own, just like this body is. So we're saying we don't respect you, we want you to come through here for our approval first.
What I'm saying is, I don't I don't want James to go directly to the redevelopment commission and say, I want $50,000 for Tesla. Maybe I, as a board member, don't want to buy a Tesla for the police department. Maybe I don't want to spend $50,000 on the park department.
Well, that's the prerogative of the board right there, is to decide whether they want to make those purchases or not. I mean, they can go to the redevelopment commission can approve it, but if the board doesn't want to buy it,
Well,
then the board
my
doesn't want to
point
buy it.
here is I didn't come to them and ask them for it. I've been working with him to get it,
That's
and it
exactly
was
right.
brought to the board. So to bring my name up in all this, that's wrong.
I think it was just as an example.
It doesn't matter, because I've been the example several times, and I'm tired of being the
Well, you're
example.
the police chief, so get over it.
What?
Just get over it. You're the police chief.
No, I'm just trying to explain
Order, come on, order,
to you
please.
guys that
Order.
I know how to do this. And I do it the right way. I don't do it the wrong way.
And I just said you did it the right way. That was an example of someone doing it the right way.
Again, so where do we go from here? Where do you guys want to go from here?
I will say it's good transparency.
I'm not denying that at all.
Well, it's only coming one way, one direction. In other words, it could be from a board, sub-board, wanting something through the redevelopment commission or actually requesting something through. So going that way, at least what I heard you say is the board would review it and approve it. Coming the other way, we have no control. The redevelopment commission wants to give the park board $50,000. They haven't requested, they just want to do it and say, this is what we want you to do that money. We don't have any control over that.
Right, but the board can ultimately say no. Right?
Coming from the redevelopment commission.
No,
If this board doesn't want to buy something, they have the right to not buy something.
Yes.
Right.
Going back to the example of if the example used, the police department went and asked for it, and then when you get a Tesla come back up or whatever, a vehicle, this board could say no.
Let's say the street department wants to buy a backup.
So
Go
in
to
this
redevelopment commission.
example, if we say we don't think it's a great idea to spend whatever, $20,000 on fireworks, we could say no. Is that correct?
Yep, you can.
Okay. I'm just trying to use this example.
Now you're saying that after the fact. In other words, if they go to the redevelopment commission and bypass the board and say they want $50,000 for these things, then the town board can say, no, we're not buying that.
I personally see nothing wrong with having it brought to us so that we can at least give our input. I don't know if we have to 100% say yay or nay, right? But I think they should at least bring it to us so that we can have our opinion and give our thoughts before they take it. I see nothing wrong with
And
that.
we're talking subboards on this.
Just the subject.
Right, yes, that's what we're talking about.
Because you're gonna have other instances I can think of as far as development going in that needs to be done. If there's infrastructure and that they're bringing in, they enter into deals.
It's directly to you.
You know what I mean? That's
Just
something.
like what they said, the school, the fire department, all that, anything that's the town.
Any department that answers to the town board, you can make a rule that they have to come to you first before they go to redevelopment commission.
Just so we
That's
can
within
give
your
our thoughts
prerogative.
and know they're going to.
Right.
That's
or to
within your
that board.
prerogative.
We can't make this board irrelevant.
Right.
It's my point. We can't make this board irrelevant.
And it avoids what Tom was talking about is, so they go, they get the money approved and everything, and then we say, no, we don't want that. That avoids that embarrassment, which would be embarrassing, would be very conflicting, I would think. So having it funneled through the board would be, to me, any sub-board funneling any funding request.
Well, and the other thing that it does is, like we just did with the Tesla, right? It allows them to use that money right away if we approve it.
Yeah.
Versus having to come back to us.
Yeah.
So for that reason, I see it makes sense.
Yeah, I don't like the board having to discuss something after the fact that gets really sticky. So if we're doing it in process, then everybody's on the same page, move forward, go.
Yeah, I like what She said about just being transparent.
Yeah,
Just totally transparent.
absolutely.
So what rule was you suggesting, John, that needs to be put in place?
You can adopt a resolution that would require all departments of the town, and these are departments that answer the town board, that if they have a funding request that has to be made to the town board, then the town board will decide where to make that funding request. You can decide to fund it through your regular general revenue, you can say, go to the redevelopment commission, whatever, but it's you guys' ultimate authority to decide the funding request.
You guys,
Yeah,
I'm
that-
not,
that's
don't
good. I like
push
that.
my
I'm
make
good with
it.
that. Mhm.
Does that sound like what you were thinking?
You make that motion?
I make that motion.
You're gonna create a resolution,
I'll draft it.
I've got a first, do I have a
You
second?
said they were gonna draft it.
John?
John,
Oh, okay.
Second.
I've got a first and a second. Is there any other further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. We done there?
Yes.
All right. Hometown hero.
Yeah, we're reaching our deadline to submit these for the banners, and we have 31 that we're going to be getting. And there's like one or two, I'll look at Terry, that are on the, we got a couple that I knew of that I hadn't approached. Like Terry, do you have any interest in being in this round, or do you want to do the next round?
Well,
The heroes, the banners for heroes.
well, I throw that in.
That's what I wanted to know. Okay, good. And then, Tom Hall, next door neighbor. So I don't know whether he'll be added to it. So, anyway, so it could be 33, but right now 31. It's pretty much funded. I would like to ask, that we allocate, how much we short? $500?
I think. That's what it
If we
was.
could allocate $500 or say up to 1,000 out of the line item that's good for the town, the line item, to fund the remaining if we have to. So,
Do you think just taking it out of the edit?
no, it's out of the general fund.
Yeah. It's,
There's a line item called,
what's it called?
good for the town.
Yeah.
Best interest of
That's
the
just the town. And we have about a $2,000 budget there that we always keep. I'm hoping we'll get enough donations.
Yeah, they're still building up their donations, so.
Right. We got donations from Sam Pierce, the Legion, donated 1,000, Sam 500. One person donated $500 to take care of 5 people. And so it was, I can't think of it, we're gonna miss somebody, and I don't remember who.
I know.
There's another business owner in town.
Yeah, do that.
Greg,
So I make a motion that we,
Tom Hall's a big member of the Legion,
Yeah.
so I'm sure they would like to support him with
yeah,
that.
well, the Legion gave us a list of everybody.
They also donated.
And so,
they donated as
Excuse me.
well.
yeah, so I make a motion that we can spend up to $1,000 to help support the Banners for Heroes program. Like I say, I was thinking that we might have to match or approach that, but I don't think we have to. I think this has been very generous. So,
I was gonna make that same suggestion, is that we could, basically get it over the, start finish line.
oh, yeah.
Has the town committed any other money previously? Because this program can go for a while.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't care where it comes from, personally, but, yeah, I fully support.
You
So
make
second
the
in the motion.
I read the motion, so.
You
I'll
made a mo-
second.
Take out a first and second. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Um,
Opposed?
One last thing on that. Heather and Trina in the office did a lot of work on this, and so did Adam's wife, Peggy, and Mandy, who was a volunteer, Spandy, I think her name is. I could be wrong, but she lives down where the barn is on River Road.
Span.
That's it.
Yeah. Anyway, they did a lot of work on this project, so I really wanted to make sure everybody knew that, appreciate it. Let me see it in a second. Thank you.
Got it. Okay, moving next, the annual financial review for approval. Everybody get a chance to look at that? She sent it out, all the final numbers for 2024. Might so entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion that we approve the annual financial report.
I'll second.
Have a first and a second, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Approved. Solar panel cleaning.
We found out you're supposed to clean solar panels. Like once or twice a year.
Twice a year, if it's what it was.
Get the dust off of them.
Yeah. That way they're more efficient.
And you are not to use a power washer.
Should make sense.
That was made very clear.
So like a,
Just low pressure water in a brush, right?
That sounds like fun.
I will talk
And
to
holding the bread would not be. I told
Dan
him,
and Brad about that project.
maybe when it gets more.
Well, there's three guys, right? So
Dennis and Brad. And
Yeah.
it doesn't all have to run downhill to you, Brad. There's other guys.
yeah, lots can run down there. Brad.
Okay. Next up is stormwater building expenses.
Yes, we've got potential building expenses. Brad gave me an estimate for the gutter this morning or today. So that's just an example. There's also, by the way, as an update, the electrical panel is in. He's done most of the electrical work or half of it or a percentage of it. A bathroom has been built. He's gonna get an estimate on the office, just to see what kind of a price there is. They can do it, but if they're getting into the busy time too. So, so they're gonna start getting prices. There's cement that has to be obtained for the front of the building, so they can drive on cement into the building. So that could be a large cost. So there's gonna be some large costs there. The question is, how do we want to distribute the expenses on this? So, because I don't think the stormwater fund can take care of it all. And the water utility is a big chunk of money out of water utility too. So do we want to take some money out of the edit money to help with covering the expenses?
Well, how much are you talking, I mean, because from the final review, we were around 260 in the edit. I don't know what we've used between 24 and now, if there's been anything
I'm not
taken
sure
out.
there's been any
This year.
expense.
So we should have around 265. So what are you
Well,
proposing or
I'm
looking at?
worried that the cement's going to be us,
If you guys wanna wait on the cement, I'm dig it all out, I put gravel in there.
But do we have a price on the cement yet?
And I ain't gonna price on
I
that.
think we need to get close so we can understand what we're looking
Yeah, I
at.
think-
as far
I
as
think we're
the price.
talking about 40 to 50 grand for the cement. So, but I think you're right, we'll get quotes.
Well, I mean, if you're, like you said, busy, you got a gutter price, you need cement, and I take it, we're looking at a landscape package. I know you said you're gonna do it, we're getting into the busy season, you can't do one, you can't do the other. So why don't we get the pricing to finish this out on everything at once and take a look at it and pull it? Doesn't mean we have to do it all, but let's get a price on it so that we can start to understand what we've still got on the table.
Are we
Right.
doing anything with that back row of trees and
Yeah.
fencing or anything, or what's our plan?
Well, me and Adam went down there and we talked to him. We're gonna go from the edge of towards Delville Road. We're just gonna go from there. And he was agreeing to put a privacy fence down in there so he wouldn't see us.
It tapers down to the
It
tree.
tapers down to the tree. Then on the backside, I wasn't gonna do nothing on the building, just use it as a,
Agreed.
look out there and look at the building.
And Mr. Hurley wasn't real keen on taking more down, and it doesn't make sense to put a fence to cover a bare wall. Like it's like, you've got the greenery, and then there's nothing. There's no windows, there's no anything on the back of that building. So you're putting a fence to block what's effectively a fence already.
The majority of that tree line is on my property, by the way. We're completely okay with taking down the tree line.
Okay.
So I agree
And you
with
would
you.
prefer to have the fence?
No, not necessarily.
So do we mark that off?
Yes.
So we know exactly what.
Yeah, it's honestly the tree line where the fire station, all the way over.
Okay.
And anything back is ours, anything forward is,
I did see the stake down there today, and where I said we own to, it was.
that
There's-
is correct.
There is a stake right down
There
there.
is.
So I assume if any trees taken down though, remember the bat thing?
Oh, I know.
So we can't take them down after April. So if you're gonna take down trees, you gotta do it before April.
And the majority of those at that back end are the skinny trees
I
anyway,
call
like they're
fruit
not
trees
like,
anyway. What do you
big-
call them?
I mean, they're not really trees, right? Like, but it's
Half of them in
brush.
there's
It's
dead
brush.
anyway. Half of them's dead in there anyway.
It is, and it's gonna fall on the property, it's gonna fall both ways, and so for that sense, we're completely okay with that being taken down. It's the front one, the big tree at the front that I think.
Yeah, we marked, I think, 3 trees down there with Bob. Down there that he wouldn't want taken out.
Right,
And we did mark them.
but those are all towards the Daleville Road anyway.
Yeah,
so
there,
yes.
and there is one down there on the other end.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's
the
one,
biggest one
yeah.
down there, we didn't want to take it out.
Yeah. But the just brush skinny stuff can go.
When do we get another head?
May. Oh, no. Well, we don't know we will, because we had a commissioner that was very generous. So,
Well, things change, we don't know
Well, they're-
they're putting together a 3-year plan in June.
Right, the board of commissioners are required every 3 years to put together an edit plan. The edit plan expires at the end of May this year. So, they'll be putting together a new plan and decide how they want, what their priorities are.
right, it was almost always November or December that we got it.
Correct.
So,
October, November, December, somewhere in there.
so I was just wanting to get an idea of how you want, you want me to think about another loan for the water utility, or you want to spend some money on it? I don't want to talk numbers now.
Well-
But just what direction do you want me to head with this?
With the stormwater bill?
Yeah,
I think we need to get the pricing and then look at the edits on that we have. See what we've got there. And then by that time, we also will have some, once I can rectify with, the auditor's offices, make sure that all our money that's in our TIF district is our money and not something else. I mean, I would just like to verify it. I'm afraid to God it's what we got, but that came up. I can't ignore it and pray that it just goes away. I need to know for sure it's been paid before we make any more decisions, get too crazy with the money that we were given. Okay? Good? So you'll get pricing on the rest of it, and then we'll go from there. We'll have another discussion as far as the expenses on stormwater.
I can, I said, but in the meantime, we're gonna need to get some stuff, keep proceeding. So I don't wanna wait till April to meet again and say there's all these prices. So you allow a verbal vote and then officially approve the next board member for certain things. So we'll get the quotes and then we'll make a priority list and kind of go down how we want to do it. And then we'll approach it that way.
So how usable is the drive as gravel for right now?
It needs more gravel in it.
Okay,
But it is usable.
It is usable.
so where my mind is let's get the interior of the building finished and usable. We know that the exterior needs cement work, and that's gonna be sizable. If our edit situation changes, then we need to wait until there is an additional TIF disbursement if we want to make a request like that, right? Hopefully the edit situation doesn't change much.
Yeah, we do get a tip distribution. We won't from Delaware County.
But our regular.
Our regular
to-
May.
67
Corridor, yeah,
May.
we'll get one tonight.
And it could be increased with culverts. I don't know if they're participating this year. I think it's been long enough, maybe not. So,
It should be in there this year, you're right, it should be in there this year.
Yeah, I mean, the gravel's it's not a permanent solution.
Right.
It is a stopgap until we have enough money to do it and still be comfortable with everything else, because God knows what other expense is gonna come up that is unforeseen.
So you're gonna do it in an email you'll put out to the others, we'll watch the expenses, go from there. In the meantime, you'll get estimates on all the the concrete, the gutter, the landscaping, so that we know what we're looking at in the long haul.
As of right now, I have everything to finish inside that building.
We need quotes on that too, then.
I mean, to get it all done besides the office. I have everything sitting down there in that building to finish it
You have
all.
all the material.
Oh.
I have all the
right,
material. I can finish it and I've been using it. I got stuff down there now. The backhoe's sitting in that building right now.
Gotcha.
They're doing a great job down there.
Is that it on that? All right.
Tom, are you gathering quotes on stuff?
Brad will get them to me.
Okay, then the last thing I got on here is the TIF expense request, which I think we've already addressed on both of those.
Yeah, yeah.
So seeing that, I've reached the end of this. Does this board have any other business tonight before us? Anybody in the audience? Comment, business? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
There's a first,
I second.
second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned. All right.
That's a. I'm sick.
Are you gonna go? Hagerstown. I'm going to Hagerstown. I mean, recommendation to go to Hagerstown. I gotta stay within inside my region, and Hagerstown gives me